So I'm Lisa Jackson and I'm the manager of the Cumbria Collaborative Outreach Programme. So I manage the Cumbria Collaborative Outreach Programme, which is one of 29 partnerships within England, and we're working towards a national project which is called the National Collaborative Outreach Programme. This is a project that's funded by the Office for Students, working towards some government targets to increase the number of young people going into higher education, particularly from backgrounds where students in those areas haven't progressed before. So young people that would have had the grades to go to university or do a higher or degree apprenticeship but haven't for some reason. And that's usually because there's maybe been some sort of barrier that's stopped them from doing that in the past, potentially the cost of university, potentially the distance to their local university, or maybe just that they didn't have the right skills and knowledge to make a decision to progress on that route. So we're working in Cumbria, so our programme is very specific to our Cumbrian young people, and we're working in 3 key areas, so West Cumbria, Carlisle and Eden, and Barrow in Furness. And these are areas where the data shows us that young people could have progressed onto a higher degree apprenticeship or to university, but they haven't. So we're wanting to work specifically in those areas to try and drive up the number of young people going on into level 4 study. So the University of Cumbria is the lead institution or the lead partner for our programme, but we have a number of universities and colleges and businesses that are operating in Cumbria and Lancashire, and together we form the Cumbria Collaborative Outreach Programme. So we're working specifically with young people from certain areas of Cumbria, and they're aged year 9 to 13, working with those young people, but also their parents and carers and their teachers and advisors. And we feel it's really important to work closely with teachers and advisors in our local schools and colleges, but also the parents and carers so that we can help inform young people from all different angles, so all of the people that surround the young person, so everyone's really informed about supporting that young person and their progression. We created the Hello Future programme to specifically work with Cumbrian young people, so we wanted to create something that would work in Cumbria, so not just something generic but something very specific for our young people here. So we spoke with teachers and advisors in the area, we spoke with our partners, we spoke with young people themselves to ask them what kinds of things would really help them in their progression. Thinking about their futures, what did they need to help them make a decision about their future? So pulling together all of that feedback and all of that evidence, I guess, we created our programme. So looking at skill building, looking at confidence building, things like teamwork, resilience, fear of failure, these are all really key things that were coming through the feedback, and so we made sure that we incorporated that into our programme. So all of those key themes will feed through our workshops, our residentials, our mentoring programme, and any specific projects that we run with our young people. We felt a need to engage young people outside of the school and college environment, mainly because quite a lot of young people can be switched off from education. So meeting them in a different environment was really key for us. So we've been looking to build relationships with community groups, youth organisations and other businesses perhaps that are operating in Cumbria, so that we can meet young people in a different environment, perhaps sometimes more of an informal environment, and really get to know the young person and their interests and their passions, and build upon that through our out of school or college programme. Within Cumbria we've found that there are a number of barriers for young people in progressing into higher education, and mainly that can be down to our geography. So Cumbria is quite a large county, it's very spread out, there are transport issues, so that can be a barrier in itself. We also have young people following a path that may be most known to them, so going into certain types of employment or certain routes that their parents or their family have followed or their friends are following. So young people may not necessarily want to go off that path. So we find that can sometimes be difficult for young people when they're making future decisions. We feel it's really important to support Cumbrian young people in progressing into higher education, and we think we've got some fantastic young people in the area, and we want to ensure that we help them to go on and follow a path that they're most interested in and help them to really succeed and achieve their full potential. I think one of our most proud moments to this point is really seeking the feedback of local young people, parents and carers, teachers and advisors, and really pulling together that feedback to create something that will be of use and will really support local young people in progressing into higher education. We haven't created something very generic, we have created something very specific based on feedback. So I think that's one thing for us to be really proud of, and hopefully will continue beyond the lifetime of our project. Another thing I think is the recruitment of local people to our programme and the relatability of young graduates. For example, we have some local young graduates working as graduate interns, so the young people really have the ability to relate very closely to those graduates. We've also had the opportunity to bring together a number of organisations over the last couple of years, so bringing together schools and colleges, both within the areas that we work in, but also cross-county, so the ability there to share best practice across the different areas and also link up organisations perhaps that might not have worked together so closely before. So I think that's been a really positive outcome. We've also got some really exciting developments coming over the next couple of years, which is looking at combining all of the opportunities for young people in Cumbria and putting that in a really easy and accessible platform. So within our Hello Future website, in the future, young people and teachers and advisors, parents and carers will be able to log on and find all of the opportunities that are available to them in one easy to find place.